Hi, Anjali. How are you today?
Doing well. How are you, Mina?
I'm doing great. Yeah, it's so great to meet with you again. I get so much information from you, especially being in real estate and for personal reasons, right? I love, talking to you about the rules of the HOA world. Um, we're going to touch about pets and animals and when people want to move in having pets and animals. And what does that look like? Because some people don't realize when you're under an HOA, there are rules.
Yeah, that's a great point. Something for buyers and homeowners to consider when purchasing a house in an HOA is what are their plans for the house, the backyard, etc. when it comes to pets and animals. Some people plan to have, chickens or goats or something like that in their backyard. The first thing they should do is check both the CCNRs for the use restrictions as well as the rules of the community. There's sometimes a separate document where the board is passing a set of rules that kind of expand on the use restrictions in the CCNRs. And just to back up a little bit, the CCNRs are like a contract that runs with the land between the HOA and the buyer. Sometimes there's multiple versions because there's amendments, and the buyers get these documents during the escrow period, but sometimes they don't realize that they should read through them and check these use restrictions. So the use restrictions that we often see that have to do with pets or animals is like there'll be size restrictions, breed restrictions on like a dog or something like that. They'll also have restrictions that say, hey, you can only have pets versus livestock or something like that. And then the last restriction that we see a lot is something that's like a restriction on building, let's say, a chicken coop or
Mm-hmm.
something. So buyers should consider all of those different types of restrictions before purchasing the house so they know what they're getting into.
Well, that's good to know because probably people don't think down that deep, right? And then, if you don't ask, you don't know. And it should be clarified, like you said, there's amendments and things like that. So people really need to understand and confirm properly before they purchase. Now, let's talk about something that's really interesting also emotional support animals.
Yeah,
So,
that's
dogs, emotional support, are they the same thing, right?
there's two main types of these service animals. There's the emotional support animals, and then there are also service animals that do a really specific task, not just the mental well-being of the homeowner or something like that. What's interesting that a lot of people might not realize is that homeowners associations are considered housing providers under the Fair Housing Act or the FHA. There's both
Mm-hmm.
a state and a federal Fair Housing Act, and both apply to actually protect homeowners from discrimination on the basis of a disability. So, as long as a homeowner has a disability and wants a reasonable accommodation or a variance from the rule, like, so let's say there's a rule against having dogs being kept in the property. If the homeowner has a emotional support animal or a service animal, the HOA actually has to grant that request to allow them to have the pet within the property. And there's a special set of kind of steps that we can take that I can help a homeowner with to get that variance. But they should know going into it that it's fair housing protected if they've got a disability.
That's really good to know because I know that it's very common and people are sometimes not clear that it's okay and they are granted the ability to bring in a pet that's needed for them.
Yeah.
So that's good to know. So, Anjali, well, what's a good way for people to reach you? Anjali's a HOA specialist, attorney, and estate planning. So I think the two go together really well. What's a good way for people to reach you?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll include links to contact me in the notes for this meeting, and people can just click on those to reach out.
That's amazing. I love seeing you today, as always, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you.